Good morning, everyone. We're starting on our backs, as I just said. So just coming to our backs, keeping our knees bent, our feet nice and wide so that the knees can just rest together. And if it's available to us, we can close down our eyes. And our hands can rest wherever we like. They can be on our bellies, they can be next to us, whatever suits you. And we just take these few moments to let go of our mornings. Start to come into our practice. To start to reconnect with our internal landscape. Mostly we do that through our breath. We start by simply observing that breath. Just watching it as it comes in and out of our body. I like to think of my breath like the waves of the ocean, rolling in, filling up the shore with their water, and then receding back out again. We're not really trying to change our breath when we first come to our mats, we're just observing it. Just taking a few moments to notice exactly where we're breathing, where that breath is landing. And then after a few moments of that observation, taking a moment to deepen the breath. So trying to draw the breath down deeper into our lungs, expanding the capacity of our lungs. So perhaps you'll feel the ribs expand as the lungs expand. Perhaps you'll feel the belly rise as the diaphragm fills it. And then feel it all recede. So as we're watching that breath deepen and lengthen, we can then start to slow it down. So rather than drawing the breath in fast, as we're making the breath longer and deeper, we're trying to bring it in a little more slowly as well. Just thinking about that for a few moments, the breath. Slow, long, deep. And today, if you want to set yourself an intention, if that's something that you practice in yoga, then you're welcome to. It can be anything from, I'll look after myself and sit in child's pose for the whole practice. Or just, I'm going to smile and be positive throughout the day. Anything you like, or nothing at all. My teacher in Hawaii, Deb, she used to sprout all this yoga-isms. I used to call it the hippie shit. And some people think of setting attention as the hippie shit. But if you can set an intention and it's something that you like to do, then every now and then during the day you can remind yourself of it. if it's applicable to the day. If it's applicable to the class, let it go after the class. Let's just take a couple more moments here. And I don't often talk about this, but if Ujjayi breath is something that's in your practice, we can start doing that now. And Ujjayi breath is just a gentle constriction at the back of our throat. So in yoga, we try and breathe through our nose, and we drag the breath down the back of our throat. And it sounds like Darth Vader breathing, or it's a little bit louder, a little bit more audible, but not so loud that the neighbours are going to come in and check on you. Just a little bit of audibleness, if that's a word, when we're breathing. And just, if your arms are not on the floor, just taking them on the floor, palms facing wide. Making sure the feet are as wide as our mat. And we're just going to let our feet, our knees, just gently sway from side to side. Just starting to get some movement up the lateral side, the outside of our legs. You might feel a little bit of a stretch right up into the waist or that connective tissue. That's okay. Maybe you want to stay on one side and take a couple of breaths and relish that stretch. Or maybe today you prefer to just keep moving. Yoga takes many forms. There's 8 limbs. Asana, or the poses that we do in the classes, are just one of them. Just keep moving for a couple more breaths, releasing the lower back a little. Do something we haven't done before. We've done something similar. So bringing the feet back in so they're hip distance apart. Just lifting the legs so that the knees are bent, but the knees are above our hips. So we're like in a reclined tabletop position. We've done this part before. So as breathing in, and as we exhale, just tapping the right toes down towards the ground, but stopping before you get there. As we inhale, straighten that leg so it's hovering over our mat. Exhale to bend it again, toes still hovering towards the floor. And inhale, the shin comes back parallel to the mat. So try to get on the left, so take an inhale to start. The exhale, the toes hover down towards the floor. We inhale, straightening our left leg. We exhale, draw it back in, and inhale, shins back to parallel. So doing a few more on each side. So exhale, right toes towards the floor. Inhale, straighten our right leg. Exhale, bending that right leg again. And inhale, shin back to parallel. So start to think about firming up that lower belly, the belly between our hip bones. Drawing our pelvic floor on a little bit, giving a slight pelvic tilt so that the lower back comes into our mat. And we'll try it again. So inhale to start. Exhale, left toes towards the mat. They hover, they don't touch. Straighten the leg. Bring it back in. And raise the shin to parallel. 2 more times on each side. So just doing it with your own breath. Doesn't really matter which way you do it as far as breath goes. We want to try and keep that pelvis nice and stable. So we don't want that to move if we can. We want to keep that activation in the lower legs, lower abs. And just move nice and slowly and with some control. So starting off quite tough today. I'm feeling this with you, trust me. I want to start to get those core stabilizers working for us. And this warms us up through the legs. So when you finish that second one, just draw the knees into the chest, rock gently from side to side. And we're going to make our way up to a tabletop position. So however that happens for you, hands and knees, just make sure that that towel is close by because we'll be using that shortly. Normal bird dog, so normally we just lift our back leg, but what I want you to think about this time is not coming so high. So still firming up between our hip bones, Drawing that up, push the floor away with our hands so we feel a gentle activation around our rib cage. These muscles, the serratus anterior, come around from our shoulder blade and attach to our ribs. So we want to create that gentle activation, nice and firm through our tummies. Then just lift the right leg only a few inches off the mat. So it's not as high as we normally do go. Because when we go higher, we get that movement through the extension of our back. So this time we're just going to just hover it, maybe, 4, 5, 6 inches off the ground. And when we're really using our glute muscles and our hamstring muscles to hold it there. We can stay with both our hands on the mat, or we can raise our left arm. Just stay there trying to find some kind of stability, nice and firm. The leg will be working. And just breathing for a couple more breaths. Next time you exhale, bring the hand and the knee back to the mat. Ow! Let's try it the other side. So firm up the belly, push the floor away, stretch the left leg back, only raise it a few inches off the mat. And again, you can choose to stay with your hands on the mat, or you can lift your right arm. So we want to keep the pelvis quite stable, no movement there. Head looking towards our mat. Just breathing in for a few breaths. Starting to build that heat in the body. And then releasing back down. Just for something different, we're going to bring our left hand to our temples. It's like thread the needle, so we'll come down and fold our left elbow towards our right wrist. And then as we inhale, open up. So it's sort of like thread the needle without actually threading the needle. So today's class, we're really trying to get into our posterior shoulders, so the back of our shoulder joint. This is just starting to get those muscles to say, hello. 2 more of these. And then releasing our hand to the mat and bringing our right hand to our fingertips to our temple, and then the right elbow comes down towards the left wrist, and then we open up in the other direction. I have far less rotation on this side. You may notice that you have less rotation on one side than the other. That's okay. We're not meant to be symmetrical. We're asymmetrical beings. Just taking 2 more of those. Starting to build some heat already. I wonder if you guys are. Next time we come up, release that hand to the floor. Just run through some cat-cows. Just start to move through that spine, which may have tensed up a little from the movements that we've been doing so far. So this is an opportunity to release some of that tension. Just breathe. Once more each direction. Then come back to child's pose, but instead of letting our hands go flat on the floor, let's cupcake our hands. So imagine that you've got your hands over the top of 2 cupcakes. Maybe your head won't reach the mat, maybe it will. And it gives us more of a stretch in between our shoulder blades and our upper back. If this is too much for your shoulders, just bend your elbows. You can still do it. And just take maybe 3 or 4 breaths there. And release your hands to the mat. Come forward into that hover position and make your way to the floor. And this is where we'll need our towel. So we're going to put our towel off to the side. We want our elbow in a nice cactus or 90-degree angle. Left hand, right hand, doesn't matter, you're at home, whichever. You only want the hand on the towel and you want the elbow on the floor, and the forehead will go on the mat. And then what we're going to do is just push into that towel with the hand and release. Push into the towel and release. One more time, push into the towel and release. Now try lifting the hand off the towel but without bending at the wrists. So we're just trying to use the forearm to lift the hand off the towel. Mine doesn't get very far, it hurts, it's okay. A couple more breaths. And release. Ooh, starting to get into those external rotators in our shoulder. Move the towel to the other side, whichever side you didn't do. Make sure it's just the hand that's on the towel. Forehead to the mat, nice right angle in that arm. Just pressing into it. So press into the towel and release. Press into the towel and release. Once more. And again, keeping that wrist straight, try and lift the hand off the towel. My right hand doesn't want to come off. I'm trying to keep my forehead on the mat. It just won't. Just breathe, 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 release. Oh, you move the towel out of the way for a moment. Bring the hands back beside the body, palms facing down. We'll just do 3 rounds of locust pose. So as we inhale, lift the legs, stretch the arms back like you're trying to catch the toes, and then release down as you exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more. Bring the hands out into a nice cactus arms again, like we just did with the towel with both arms. And this is like cobra, so we're just lifting our chest, lifting the elbows just a little bit, but pushing into the mat and releasing back down. Hands come next to our chest, push yourself up and find that first downward dog of the class. Hooray, yay for downward dog. It feels good after all of those shoulder things. So in downward dog, feet are hip distance apart, hands at least shoulder width apart, maybe your thumbs are turned out slightly. We want to think about wrapping those shoulder blades around our rib cage, perhaps bending through our legs. And I like to pedal my heels when I first come to downward dog. Slow pedals just to get some movement there. And then find stillness for maybe 3 or 4 breaths. And remember, downward dog is optional. We can always do hands and knees. We can always do child's pose. I don't know that we're doing a lot of downward dogs today. I think we're just doing this one. So enjoy it. Find your stillness, settle into the breath. And at the bottom of the next exhale, we want to walk towards the front of our mat. Just hang there and forward fold. Take a moment to check in with our hamstrings. Good morning, hamstrings. Take that inhale, come halfway up. So halfway lift is nice flat back. So you really want to stick your bottom out, broaden through the collarbones, the hands rest on something, floor or legs. And we look towards the front of our mat. And we exhale, we fold back down. Inhale, rise all the way up to Tadasana or mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart. So we're moving through some half sun salutations, and then we're doing some funky sun salutations today before we start our standing poses. So just half sun salutations, breathing in. Exhale, folding forward. Nice and easy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, soften through the knees, push through the legs, rise up. And exhale, hands back to heart. Two more, exactly the same. Flow down over our legs. Lifting halfway. Exhaling, folding back down. Inhaling, rising. And exhaling, hands to heart. Once more. It's a beautiful butterfly just floating around outside my window. It's so pretty to watch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart. So something slightly different for our sun's house today. So breathing in, reach up. As we exhale, cactus those arms. So remember, we're trying to get into the back of the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold back down and find tabletop position. From tabletop, stepping our right leg forward. And I'll give you the choice today. If you feel like you need a stretch in that back hip flexor, then sit forward into it, just trying to keep the knee above the ankle in the front leg. Or you can stay up, it's your choice. We're going to bring our hands forward and twist towards that front leg, but keep them in a cactus. I actually call this jazz hands. So if I do it with my other leg, just so you can see, jazz hands. So we're holding here for 3 breaths. So we want to try and draw that top shoulder back without falling over. Really engaging the muscles on the back side of our shoulder. One more breath. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back, swap legs. So you rise up to your lunge. Bring your hands to cactus, then we twist. So jazz hands. Take a couple of breaths. Then come back, hands and knees. Cat-cow. And then we want to make our way to the front of the mat again. So you can do that by coming through downward dog and walking forward, or you can do it from hands and knees. When we arrive there, we come up halfway. We exhale, fold down. We inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart space. So do that a little bit faster now. Breathing in. Cactus arms as we exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, find tabletop. Step the right leg forward. Rise up. And then twist with those cactus arms as we exhale. Take a couple of breaths there. Next time we inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Swap legs. The inhale lifts the arms, lifts the chest. The exhale, cactus the arms, we twist. And we hold there. Next inhale, hands rise up. Exhale, hands come to the mat, find our tabletop. Maybe downward dog as we exhale again. And then making our way to the front of the mat. Take our inhale, come halfway up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to rise to Dasana. Hands to heart. Once more on each side, so it's warming up pretty much all of our body. Breathe in. Cactus our arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. Exhale, fold and find hands and knees. Step the leg forward. Inhale up. It doesn't matter what leg you're doing, you're by yourself. Exhale, cactus the arms and twist towards that leg. Hold here for 2 breaths. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find our tabletop. Step the right leg forward or the other leg forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we find our cactus arms and twist. Breathe. Next inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, choosing downward dog or hands and knees for a breath. And then find your way to the front of the mat, to forward fold. Inhale, halfway up when you arrive. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hands to heart. Once more, breathing in. Cactus the arms. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward, finding hands and knees. Stepping one leg forward. Inhaling to lift the chest. Exhaling to cactus the arms and turn towards that leg and take a couple of breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to hands and knees. Swap legs. Big inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus the arms and twist. Hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to hands and knees. Take a breath, hands and knees or downward dog. And walking forward to the front of our mats again. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale to float back down. Inhale to lift to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Good work. So we're going to step our right leg back. I might actually come this way so you can see. No, this way. I had to think about that. Right leg back, Steve. Right leg. Eek, there's a spider just coming under the door. Okay. So standing here in our long lunge. So you can make this a little easier by having a step less. What we don't want is that front knee to come past our ankle. So if we've got a shorter step on our mat, then we're going to not have as big a bend in our front leg. So your choice. Bring the hands to heart, twist towards that leg, and those jazz hands that we did on the floor, we're doing again. And breathe. Two more breaths. Then we're going to reverse our warrior, so that back foot will come onto the floor. You'll inhale, sweep back. So the front leg can be bent or straight. I prefer to look at my back foot. So I'm just going to swap legs so that I can show you the next bit. So we're in our reverse warrior. One more breath. Find warrior two. Bring our arms into a cactus position. And then we're just going to internally and externally rotate them. So we're just rotating the palms up and down. If that spider comes near me, I'm going to freak out. Beautiful. Two more. It's tough. Hands stretch back out, warrior two. We're going to straighten our front leg, find triangle pose. Bring that top arm up to our cactus. Now we've done something similar to this in the last couple of weeks. We want the top arm cactus, softness in that front leg. Breathe in here. And then exhale, just rotate the chest towards the floor. We're going to inhale to rise back up. I think it's better to exhale as we come back down. Inhale, rise back up. Keep flowing that a couple more times. If that arm gets sore, just bring the palm to the chest. Last time. Find your reverse warrior again. We're going to wing our hands to the floor. Step back, tabletop. Lower to the floor, find our hover position. All the way to the floor, hands back out into that cactus. Lift up for that wide-armed cobra. Fold back down. Sweep the arms behind you, palms facing to the floor. Inhale, locust. As we exhale, bring the hands back near our chest. Inhale, normal cobra. And then exhale, downward dog or child's pose. So maybe I did lie, there's more than one downward dog. I just didn't write them on the page. Take a couple of breaths here. So if you need child's pose for 2 or 3 breaths to recover from that, that's perfectly fine. Both poses are just a reset pose, a chance to renegotiate our breath. If we're in child's pose, we just want to get up so we can make our way to the front of our mat. So we just inhale, walk to the front of our mat. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to find halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift all the way to standing. And hands come back to heart. And we do the other side. So stepping the left leg back, I think. Spider's got me all freaked, I've lost track of what we're doing. So we're in our lunge, pelvis facing forward. Back leg can be straight or you can take a soft bend. So when I bend, my pelvis tucks, it might take some pressure off our lower backs. Bring the hands to heart, rotate towards that front leg and then jazz hands. Just taking 2 breaths there. Next inhale, we reverse our warrior, front leg straight or bent. And then we exhale, find warrior 2, cactus arms. And we just rotate the palms up and down. One more time. Back to warrior 2, straighten that front leg, find a triangle, so lean forward, cactus the top arm. Beautiful. Exhale to roll that chest forward. Inhale to open it up. Exhale. Try and keep the arm where it is. Inhale. So rather than move my arm's staying put. One more time. Find your reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. Find tabletop. Come forward to hover, lower to the mat. Take the arms out into our cactus, wide-armed cobra. Back down. Find locust pose, palms to the mat. Inhale to lift. As we exhale, the hands come next to our chest. Normal cobra. Inhale. And then we exhale, push up, child's pose or downward dog for 3 breaths. Your choice. If we're in child's pose, we just want to make our way to the front of the mat. Downward dog, just walking to the front of the mat. Find our forward fold. When next you inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising, lifting, stretching. Exhale, hands to heart. So we'll do one more on each side. If you need a rest, just take child's pose. I can't see you, so it doesn't matter. Breathe in. Hands to heart. Step the right leg back. Find our lunge. Inhale, rise the hands up. Exhale, cactus and twist, just like we did on the floor. Inhale, reverse warrior, it's a little bit faster. Exhale, warrior 2, cactus arms. Inhale, palms down. Exhale, palms up. One more of those. Palms down. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg, warrior 2. And find our triangle with that top arm, cactus. Inhale, rolling forward, keeping the arm where it is. Exhale, lifting the chest back. Once more. Roll forward. Lift it back. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor, hands and knees. Lean forward to hover. Exhale to lower to the floor. Take the hands wide into our wide cobra. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hands sweep back. Inhale, locust pose, Shavasana. Exhale, hands near our chest. Inhale, cobra, normal. Exhale, relax down and back up, downward dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Walking the feet to the front of the mat, or from child's pose, coming to the front of the mat. When you next inhale, rise up halfway. Float back down as you exhale. Surrender. Inhale, lift through the legs. Hands to heart. Once more. Just breathe in. Reach up. Hands to heart. Step that left leg back for our lunge. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, cactus arms, twist. Hold there for a breath. Next inhale, we reverse our warrior. Drop that back heel. Front leg can be bent or straight. And then exhale, warrior 2. Cactus arms. Inhale to rotate the palms down. Exhale to lift them up. Inhale. palms down. Exhale, lift them up. Inhale, stretch the arms, straighten the front leg. Find triangle, cactus that front arm. Breathe in. Exhale, just rotating the chest, keeping the arm overs. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. Find reverse warrior. And then again, hands all the way to the floor. Find tabletop, then hover. Breathe in when you get to hover. Exhale to lower to the floor. Take the arms wide into our cactus cobra. Breathe in to lift up. Exhale, hands come back. Inhale, locust. Exhale, hands back near our chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back down. Downward dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. From child's pose or downward dog, making your way to the front of the mat. Take your time. Inhale as you arrive. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. And gather the hands back into your heart space. Well done. Just closing our eyes for a moment. Settling our breath. Acknowledging that hard work that we've just had. And it's not over yet. We're going to do an active tree pose today. So we're going to take the weight into our left leg. Like we're a ballerina, point the right toes and just rest them lightly on the floor, opening up through our hips. What I want you to do is just slowly bring those toes up your leg to wherever you can manage it and no higher. And without resting that foot on there, just holding those toes on there. So really holding it. You should be feeling this in that standing leg, but also feeling it in the other leg, the open leg. So staying here, if we can, for a couple of breaths, you can bring your hands to heart center. It's far more active tree. And then release the foot. Whee! Shake it off. Let's take the other side. So weight into the right leg. Try to keep that pelvis parallel. Draw the toes in, so resting lightly on our left toes. Open up through our left leg and our hip. Softness in that right leg as we drag those toes up. Find a point where we can stay. I'm resting lightly on those toes. They're not actually any pressure. And we're just holding here for a couple of breaths. Release the foot, breathe in. Ooh, gets you in the glutes, external rotators of our hips. Fold down, just take opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Coming back up all the way. Bring the hands to heart. Just normal tree, so transfer the weight into the left foot, lift the right. You can choose now where you place your foot. Pushing both legs in together. Bring your hands to whatever position you want. And staying there for 3 beautiful, slow, deep breaths. When you finish that last breath, just gather the hands in if they're out. With control, lift the foot up, step it down, transfer the weight, right foot, take tree on the other side. Try not to let those hips kick up. Hands take whatever position you want. Settle in, soft gaze. 3 breaths. If the hands are up, gather them back down. Lift the leg, bring it to the floor. Take that breath in. Fold down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold down. So make your way down to the floor. Grab your towel block. Sit on that. So the pelvis, the sitting bones, on the very edge of that, find a comfortable way to sit for you. So I'm fine to sit cross-legged, so if that's not for you, just have your legs straight out. Just going to clasp our fingers in and stretch some of those muscles that we've been working. Inhale, sweep the palms away from you and round through that upper back. To keep that rounding and just rotate the pelvis as you inhale, stretch them up. Exhale, bring the palms towards you, round forward. Inhale, stretch the palms away from you, lift up. Once more, inhale, palms towards you, reach forward. Palms away from you, reach up. Release the hands, bring the left hand to the mat, reach the right hand up as we inhale. And exhale, just leaning over towards our left. So you might feel that stretch all the way down through our lats. Try not to roll the chest forward, try to roll the chest nice and open. And swapping sides. So right hand comes to the mat, left hand lifts up and over. Again, notice if that chest starts to roll forward. The spider's disappeared. Yay! Into my bedroom. Oh no! Looks like I'm sleeping on the lounge tonight. Come back to center. Bring the right hand to the left knee. Left hand over behind us. Just sit up and stretch. So try not to round down here. Roll that pelvis forward. Lift the chest. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Sit up nice and tall. 3 breaths. Inhale, rise up, lift the arms. Gather the hands to heart space. We're making our way to our backs, but we want to keep this towel block under our hips. So we're doing a bit of work for our psoas muscle here. So our psoas muscle is one of our hip flexors, so responsible for drawing our knee towards our chest. So obviously when we're sitting, it's unactivated, it's shortened, maybe it's activated. So we're going to do what we call an eccentric contraction. So we're going to lengthen the psoas muscle and then contract it. So what I want you to do, bring your legs up, bring the right foot down to the floor, stretch the left leg away, hover it above the floor. So you lower it until you can feel that muscle start to work, and then just small pulses. Try and keep the abdominals on nice and tight, just small pulses. So this muscle's lengthened now, but we're working it. It's inherently tight and inherently weak in most people. So we're trying to get some strength. One more. Drop it just so it's hovering above the floor. You can almost feel the mat. And then draw it into the chest. Release that foot to the floor. Draw the right leg in. Stretch it out. Lower it slowly until you feel that tension really start to come on in that deep hip flexor. And you don't want that lower back to arch to find that space. So try and keep the abs on nice and tight. And then again, just small pulses, working that muscle. It's not a huge effort, but it's not necessarily comfortable. Just notice if the shoulders have tensed up and try and release them. Try and keep your abdominals on. A couple more pulses. Mine's starting to fatigue. Lower it so it's just skimming the mat. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Draw it into the chest. Bring both feet to the mat. Bring the arms overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, lift the hips. So just bridge pose. Squeezing the glutes slightly, not too much. But imagine you're trying to pull the mat apart with your feet. Just holding there for another couple of breaths. And then release the hips, bring the hands back next to you. One more round of our psoas strengthening. So leaving the right foot on the floor, draw the left knee in. Send the left leg out long. Start to lower it towards the floor. You'll feel that psoas muscle start to kick in. When you're there, small pulses. Bit of an unusual class today. Try to strengthen our backs, strengthen this psoas muscle. Stop the pulsing, lower it down to the heels, skimming the mat. Hold it there. Start to shake. Bring it in. And we'll just one more leg down that we've got to. Draw the right knee in. Stretch the leg away. Lower it till you feel that psoas muscle. Small bounces. Skim it down to the floor, hovering just above your mat. Hold it there for a little bit. Just a little bit. Nice and firm through our tummies. Draw it in. Draw both knees in. Draw the feet onto the floor. Take your towel away. Cross over the left ankle onto the right knee. And just rock side to side a little. Now you can stay here, or if you're okay, you can reach behind the hamstring of your right leg, resting the head back on the mat. And again, make some circles with that right knee. You might find a different spot that stretches. So for me, it's out that way a little. So I'm just going to rest there for a couple of breaths now. So if I just draw my knee into the chest like normal thread the needle, it doesn't feel that comfortable for me, but if you circle the knee, you can find a different position. And the fibers in our glute muscles, which is what we're getting into here, they're going all different directions. So different placement of the leg can stretch your muscles in a different way for you. One more breath here. Keep the legs as they are, but release the grip on behind the hamstring and bring the right leg back to the floor, the right foot. And then just let the legs fall to the right side. So we're still keeping the left ankle on the right knee, but the legs are just falling off towards the right side. Arms can come out to the side or above us. back to these quieter poses. You can start to reconnect with the breath, just like we did at the beginning. Drawing in deeply, more leisurely. Enjoying the expansiveness of the breath. Come back to center. Release the left leg from the right. Bring the right ankle up onto the left knee. Just sway for a start. And this might be enough again, this might be enough for you. Otherwise, we're grabbing behind that left hamstring and then make circles with the left knee. So you find a point where you feel the stretch the most, and then you stay there. Just enjoy some breaths. Release the grip behind the hamstring, left foot to the floor, arms come out nice and wide. Keep the connection between the right ankle and the left knee, and just let the legs drop towards the left side. So the left foot will probably come to the floor. And just come back to that breath. And let that body marinate in the stretch. As we just breathe slowly and deeply. One last breath here. And just roll back to center. Maybe take the legs as wide as the mat like we did at the beginning, and just let those knees windshield wiper from one side to the other. May have created a little bit of an ache in the hips. Just try to release some of that, get some of the blood flowing back there. And then we get to settle into Shavasana. So I like having my little towel pillow and my funky hair. So just find a position that's nice and comfortable for you. You've got all manner of props at home that you can use. Tuck the glutes under. Let the ankles fall soft on the mat. Let the feet fall wide. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Let the hands rotate up. And just breathe. Find some ease within our Shavasana through our breath. Not trying to change the breath in Shavasana. Just observe it. Just distracting the mind by watching it. Sometimes it helps to imagine that we're breathing in a colour. When the colour enters the body through the lungs, it starts to seep all the way out into the outer limbs, down to our toes and our fingers. gathers up things that aren't needed or impurities. As we exhale, it draws them all back to the lungs, and we breathe them back out again. Breathing our colour in deep into our lungs, spreads from our trunk, down our limbs, to our feet and our hands. Gathers up that no longer serves us. We breathe it out again. Just taking a few more minutes in Shavasana. Our time for just us. The next breath we take, make it a nice deep one. Breathe it out through the mouth. Start to bring some movement back to our fingers and our toes. Enjoying a nice big stretch from toes to fingertips, arms overhead. Maybe again turning those palms away from the body. And I really like drawing my knees into the chest just to release my sacrum after having my legs out straight. And find a moment on your side, just pausing for a couple of breaths. Before we come up to a seated pose, and if that's possible, keep our eyes shut. Keep our eyes shut. If not, soft gaze. Just take a moment to notice the effects of the practice. Letting the eyes flutter open and the hands rest at heart. My quote to end the practice today: staying positive doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time. It means that even on hard days, you know that better days are coming. Have a great week. Namaste.